just got to like
Loosens us up a bit.
loosen us up. We just do a little boogie. So we've got our Chablis in hand.
That's it.
Pulp Fiction. Eat your heart out.
Welcome back. We are super excited to have Rob Godwin. There we go, the director of Lovehoney with us today. Welcome and thank you for joining us.
It is an honour and a privilege to be here today. Thank you for having me.
Can we just talk about Bobsy for a minute?
Bobsy,
Where
yeah.
did Bobsy come from?
My real name, only used by my mother and my sisters and people in my company that want to take the piss, is Robin. I'm a Robin.
You're a Robin.
And so before I got into the adult industry, I used to teach sailing, windsurfing, and they go, "Where's Robin?" And he's bobbing up and down the sea. And that's where Bobsy came from. Right. So now everyone calls me Bobsy.
I feel like Bobsy is a very sailing name. I don't know why. It makes a lot of sense, Bobsy coming from your sailing days.
It kind of transfers very well into porn and toys and Bobsy.
Actually, it does. I've never thought about it like that.
So let's talk about that in case no one knows what Lovehoney is and we've just started talking about porn.
Yes.
Let's talk about you and your background, how you got into this industry, and then tell us a little bit about Lovehoney.
So Lovehoney, the global leader in sexual wellness. We have, if you rewind 20 years ago, my mates Rich and Neil created the company in the UK. They thought, what should we do? Should we do embroidery or should we do sex toys? And obviously, sex toys won. Yeah. And
embroidery or sex toys.
So
okay,
very different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Neil was a producer, a music producer. Did Kylie Minogue albums and Tom Bates Diner, and Rich was an editor for Wired magazine. Okay. So they interviewed each other, got on, and they said, "Hey, this internet thing's getting a bit big. What should we do?" And they researched holes in the market. Bad pun, sorry. And
where's I don't know which one it is. There thank you.
And obviously sex toys won out. But they approached it, and we still do, by being very female focused, non-porn, non-salacious. Like, for example, we got interviewed by a major publication a couple of years ago and said, "Why do you feature now people who are plus size on your website?" I said, "We've always done it from day one." So we always have a balance between base size and plus size, because most people aren't the size 4, double D, etc. So we're now 20 years ago.
Wow.
Lovehoney came into from Richard's spare bedroom. Fast forward, we became mates I was doing adult films then and licensing. We got together, hung out in Vegas, and they said, "We need a hand launching some products in Australia." I was CEO of Sexpo at the time. Yeah. We did some cool things like Shag Factory, like hippie sex toys. Tracy Cox, sexologist, came over, did a talk, and then rang me one day and said, "Look, we're working on this license. It's top secret." I was like, "What, top secret?" And I went, what's the license? And they said, "Can't tell you." So how can I help? And they're like, "It's really cool. It's a book, 50 Shades of Grey." So we worked collectively on it, and we won the license.
Wow. So wait, take a step back there. This was in your capacity at Lovehoney, won the license for 50 Shades of Grey. How did...
Actually, just before that, so I left Sexpo to move to Brizzy because of my wife's job. And she was making beer for a living, and I was selling porn.
Works.
Yeah.
Our engagement party, you could win your height in beer and porn from an electrocution game. And the smallest girl in the room won it. And she literally had like 8 slabs of beer and about 140 DVDs.
Wow.
So cool.
She rang me about a year and a half later saying she'd watched every video and drank all the beer. So now 1.5 years of absolute fun. Dehydrated completely.
Yeah.
But,
fun.
So when we left Sexpo, the boys were like, 50 Shades of Grey. So we won it. And I launched it, sold it. And I pestered them to start the website. And they said, "Nah, Australia's too small. 30 million people. I was like, guys, your USP, your free deliveries, your 365-day returns policy, you're female focused, you'll kick ass over here, you'll dominate. And they reluctantly turned the website on. That first weekend, rang me from the golf course. We've missed 70 phone calls. Can you open up a Lovehoney office?
Wow.
And that was 2013.
So why were they so reluctant in the first place? Was it purely just on the size of the market because we don't have as many people here as what they do overseas?
Yeah, they're based in the UK in a beautiful town called Bath. And it's like, is it the thing that they had least of is time, like we do now. And so therefore, what can you make more money focusing on your home market or expanding internationally? I said, guys, literally just turn it on, ship from the UK and just see what happens. And it did.
Yeah.
And it went gangbusters. So my spare bedroom, 2 dogs and 1 staff member from the UK. And that was 8 years ago. They went to a small office in the West End with 4 people, all customer service.
Yeah.
And then bigger office 6 months later to 12 people. And then we moved into a warehouse in Eagle Farm, which we've had a tour of.
Amazing.
The Yopo,
Huge.
cracking.
Yeah.
And now we've got, so if you fast forward to where we are today, we've had 1 buyout, we've had 1 merger with Valtech, we've gone from 40 staff and 2 in Australia, 40 in the UK, 2 in Australia. So we were the first company outside of the UK. Fast forward to today, we're 954 staff in 10 countries, doing 600 million US turnover.
Wow.
Incredible.
And we're market leaders in Australia by
Yeah.
Well,
a lot.
it's I don't actually, in terms of, and I'm probably asking an ignorant question here, should have done my research, but what competitors do you have? Like when I think sex toys, I only think Lovehoney. And maybe that is because of your presence within industry, because obviously we know each other, so I'm like, gotta support Rob. But in general, I
think it's one of the largest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're now market leaders by double digits.
Yeah.
And we were after 4 years. So imagine we should never had that opportunity. But because Lovehoney's compelling customer journey and customer experience was so precise and so focused on the female and the couples market, that's why we like first year we grew 109%. We've averaged the last 4 years 51%. Averaged.
Incredible.
This year, even after COVID, we're double digits up.
that would be numbers that most people would scoff at,
Mm.
especially in retail, being like
Totally.
51% growth year on year average
For 4 years.
is pretty unbelievable.
Yeah, so we've gone from pre-COVID 24 staff. We'll go over 80 staff this month.
Yeah,
It's huge.
right.
And it's a booming industry, as we know. And I think what Hannah and I were talking about before is we love that it's able to normalize sexual wellness, which is fantastic. And obviously, this business being 20 years old now, I'm sure you would have seen the industry evolve. How have you seen that the normalization occur, and how has it evolved from what you've seen?
Yeah, totally. Like, I'll give you an example. I'm staying at the QT Hotel. Big shout out to QT.
We love the QT.
Love them.
Love it. So I was at reception checking in. Welcome back, Bobsy. They know my first name. And they were like, would you like your bill to be sent back to Lovehoney? And one of the reception went, who's Lovehoney? And the receptionist who's helping us said, you don't know Lovehoney? And I was like, I'll let you tell her. So that's the level now where we're at, where people know us by just saying the word Lovehoney. So what I did was, as I walked to the lift, you could hear them giggling in the background. So I went up to the room, got 2 vibrators, came back to reception, went, there you go.
There you go.
There you
Have
go.
fun.
Yeah.
And it's about,
Thank me later.
Yeah,
and they did. Yes, next morning
they
were like-
always do.
So I think how it's evolved, I got into the industry 17 years ago. Shows my age now. And
Is that e-commerce industry?
no,
Or
this is
that was
back
the-
doing wholesale toys. So
Okay.
toys and videos. So
Right.
just as DVD had come out and
Okay.
Blu-ray. So the thing
Right.
about adult industry is they're very they're at the forefront of innovation. So they were the first industry to do Blu-ray and I can't remember the other one. There was
Just
another
DVD?
version.
God.
Yeah.
the standard DVD
Yeah.
versus Blu-ray.
And
I remember the Blu-ray days.
Yeah,
It's like
that
that
was
was
cool.
a hype that died very quickly, but you know.
total. And then Sex and the City with the rabbit and
Yeah.
the pearls that went around and the battery pack that came off it, really, and the hand painted veins on dildos. So proper old school stuff to where we are now, where I can pick up my phone and I could control a vibrator in another country
Yeah.
with my phone.
That's unbelievable.
Madness.
I also read a story. I think it's the founder of, is it Lilo?
Yep.
She's an engineer and has won a heap of awards based on the innovation that they put into creating that toy. You can correct me that you probably know way more about it, but I think that that's where it's gone to. I think she was an astrophysicist or aeronautical engineer or something like that. So that's the type of talent that's coming in and
So now,
innovating in the space.
with our merger, so we're now the Lovehoney group, which incorporates WowTech, so that's Womanizer and WeVibe. WeVibe is the original C-shaped vibrator for couples, and that was designed by a husband and wife team who are engineers in Canada. And then Womanizer is a pulsating air technology, which basically blows air across the clitoris and sucks at the same time. You can orgasm in about 30 seconds to a minute. So we call it the GOAT. And you're nodding your head, Carmel, in appreciation.
You gave me one, and I do love it.
And there's a brilliant review for our customers. I think I sent to you about how she levitated and how she was told to stretch and hydrate before using it. She was waiting for the pink light to turn off, and then she got it in the wrong position, and she went from 1 to 99 in 3 seconds, and she orgasmed, and it got trapped, and then she orgasmed again, and then she pulled a hammy, and she fell off the bed, and God shone upon her, going, "It's not your time."
Oh God!
It was.
I'm
brilliant.
just imagining this review being like an essay.
Yeah.
You're like, okay,
it's-
sure.
it's a
Erotic
bit-
novel.
But this is where, as the evolution of sexual wellness, now it is mainstream. The lady you're talking about, there's Lila, there's Womanizer, there's Dame, there's a whole host of brilliant female-led industry leaders that design products by females. 80% of our workforce in Australia are females because basically they're far better at dealing with a female market. And if you're in a heterosexual relationship, no chap is going to go, "No, don't buy any lingerie or sex toys." No, of course. So you target that audience.
Yeah.
And you're going to get connectivity, long LTV. You're going to get high conversion, etc. So
Yeah, and maybe we can just digress into that because I know you spoke about before how you've always understood your target market exceptionally well. And I think in the space that you're in, because there are, and correct me if I'm wrong here, restrictions in terms of how you can advertise, you really need to think about the way that you're targeting your customer within the framework that's been given to you.
yeah.
Can you take us through a little bit of what that looks like and how you overcome some of the challenges?
Let's start by saying that Mark Zuckerberg isn't on my Christmas card list, or am I with him? Yeah, that's a challenge. Even this week, visiting Google, visiting our key platform providers, it's a hard task when you are selling sexual wellness, but you can't sell the number one advertising usage in the world is sex to sell products.
Yeah.
But if you sell sex, you can't use sex to sell sex. It's a complete oxymoronic situation. So fashion, beauty, they all use sex to sell, but we can't. So I can't do any boosted ads on Facebook or Insta. None. I can't do a shopping cart on Insta. I have to do an illustration of a product to boost that on Facebook. So like a sketch.
Crazy.
So how do you, Gabby from Catch, he said there's the front door, there's the back door, and there's a door you haven't found yet. And that's what we have to do. You have to be innovative. You need to look at things in different perspective, and you need to basically lead by content. So I know you're going to be shocked by this,
Okay.
right?
We're getting ready.
Nothing shocks us.
Nothing shocks us
you will.
anymore.
Trust me. The consumer, the Lovehoney cohort, which is 25, 45 heterosexual couples, that's number one. And then single females under 35 as number 2.
Okay.
They don't want to hear from a good-looking, pommy guy called Bobsy. I know, it's a shock.
Okay, that's shocking.
That is shocking.
Groundbreaking.
What? Bobsy, no.
I know, it's hard to believe.
Everyone loves Bobsy.
What do you mean?
You'll love me even more before we do show and tell. So we use amazing ambassadors called like Chantal Otten.
Oh,
Great.
she's fantastic.
Love her. She is part of the Lovehoney family.
She is brilliant. Her and Dylan, I follow, and I just think, what advocates?
Yeah, total. So Chantal is that articulate, intelligent female voice, which both females and couples and every sexual orientation aspires to, because she just speaks from the heart, from experience, from knowledge. And she's our number one ambassador. We have Cam Fraser, great sex coach. He comes more tantric end of the spectrum, addressing the male audience about how to be a good male in a same-sex or heterosexual relationship. And we use the incredible Bryony Cole. She's the leader of the Future of Sex organisation. She runs a sex tech school out in New York and Melbourne, and we work collaboratively. And I'm lucky to have these people in my life and in my business. So they connect. So we can use them to resonate with our audience, not necessarily from the traditional methods of social media. But then we layer on top of that a coordinated effort with Above the Line. So we're the biggest TV advertiser in the country. We chuck in some radio adverts, we chuck in some good EDMs, but also, and most critical, we have fun. We go to industry events. Like when we won the Hall of Fame awards at the Orioles, getting on stage and me going, right, we're going to do a Oprah Winfrey moment. Yeah. Everyone gets a free sex toy.
Yeah. You get a vibrator. You get a vibrator.
Remember that. And everyone was sitting there. We're like, so did Rob just say we can go to his table and get a vibrator?
Did anyone take you up on that?
57 companies. Not companies, not individuals.
Wow.
57 companies. We sent out $5,500 worth of products.
That's amazing.
Wow.
The next week.
Wow.
To the biggest companies in our retail community. I'm not going to mention who.
No.
We won't mention who.
Rad.
Of course.
Why does that not shock me?
No, exactly.
No.
He didn't give any to me, so he wasn't for his company. It was just for him.
Oh, yeah. No, but this is it. This is about breaking down the taboo. It's about creating that acceptance, about embracing people's sexuality. Because we did a big research project just before COVID. 3,000 respondents through Ragdoll. And they said about your sexual health, overall health, mental health. 75 people identified if you have a good sex life, that helps your overall health. And critically, 25% said if you have a good sex life, it helps with your mental health. And then we've launched into COVID, and we grew triple digits in the first year. But what different was our core focus, or our core market, during that time period, wasn't the 25-45.
So your demographic changed.
Yeah, the biggest growth market was single females under 30, because actually ladies are not on Tinder when you're in lockdown, you're not going out dating, etc.
Can't meet people. You've
But
only
you
got
still-
yourself.
Exactly.
But you still want to have a positive sex life. So the sales to single females was the biggest growth factor during COVID. So that, what does that tell you? What you then have to change your advertising and change your communication, or modify it, should I say, not change it.
But would you say that because your focus has always been on utilizing advocates that are talking about sexual wellness in a very positive light, so to speak, that actually that is universal? Like, I would say that wouldn't have to change, because you're creating a really sustainable way of advertising through people who are telling the story through their own, experiences. So like you say, you have to shift the way that you advertise, but did you, or did you just continue on with the strategy and potentially bringing on new advocates that may speak or have a following to a certain demographic?
We tweaked it, but the core messaging was exactly the same.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to be the go-to company for sexual wellness, not the price. Leave that to the Amazons of the world.
Yeah.
Leave that to the discounters of the world. We want to be the go-to company for sexual wellness. Why we do so much in the mental health space, why we do so much in charity. We've always been at the forefront with our e-commerce leaders and big companies in helping other people. So we want to be where people naturally navigate to, not because we've got a 80% sale.
Yeah.
And it's about content. So yes, you tweak it for different audiences, but you also add value by just being good humans.
Yeah.
By being a good retailer. Like we this year with Retail Global and with our staff, 14 of our staff running marathons at the Gold Coast, and the Lord Mayor's show in Queensland, we've raised over $200,000 for our core charity, this is a conversation starter, TAX, which provides free mental health. This month, they ticked over $2 million worth of free mental health to blue collar workers.
Wow.
That's using your position as market leader to really benefit the community.
Yeah.
And
but also really aligning with what your brand stands for.
Yeah, 100%. And that's, again, down to our staff. We give all of our staff unlimited mental health counselling. We give them free sex toys. Fantastic.
How good.
Yeah.
We have a PT that comes in every Thursday, and you can have 45 minutes off on our time, and he trains everyone together as a great way to bring warehouse, customer service, e-commerce, marketing together. Free gym membership. We do discounted foods, so you can eat for $5 a day at Lovehoney.
Wow.
Oh my
cool.
goodness.
And
perks.
the
Be
best thing,
right back, coming to work for Lovehoney.
mate, we need more staff. In this tight labour market, we need more staff. But the best thing, which we've done from day one, which we just expanded, you can bring your dog to work every day. So
Love
there's a
that.
roster. So you can actually book, as you book a hot desk. So we have about 3 days a week in the office. If you're in the office environment, if office warehouse every day, but you can book your dog to come in with you during the week.
That is so cute.
nice.
I'm living with a puppy called Bruce at the moment, and Bruce is so cute. I have to show you a photo. He is adorable, but I tell ya, I think he might get a bit annoying if he was coming to work every day.
He's a puppy.
He's a puppy though.
Yeah.
He's a puppy, but still, they just bring so much joy to your
do,
life.
yeah.
Like,
So part of the relationship between Lovehoney and TX is part of the 200 grand we've helped with Retail Global when we did chairman of that, of the Retail Council. We funded a therapy dog called Chippy. And Chippy is a pup, about 9 months, Labrador Speckle. And he literally is trained to come up to you and lie on your lap and just cuddle you. To help
sweet.
the counsellors who deal with mental health counselling and to deal with sometimes suicide prevention. The Chippy's there just to give them comfort. So he comes into our office once a week. I get the luxury of looking after him this Christmas with my dog Frankie, Super Frankie Lampard. And he's been with the business since day one. And we lost our second dog to cancer before Christmas, and Lovehoney was devastated. We had a Kalu week where we all gave her treats and before she got put down. So Chippy comes in as a good substitute at the moment. And but that's where you go the extra. We have our 6 core values, right?
yeah.
It's nice to be nice. You can never know enough about sex. One of them is going the extra inch. Bit cheesy, but that's what you do.
Go the extra inch.
Yeah.
That is, wow.
I love it.
And
It's a great value though.
for 20 years. Those values have been in place. So all of our processes are geared around the customer.
Yeah.
So you can place an order as you have done, Carmel, in Sydney at 5:30, and it'll get to you next day. Because in Brizzy, we gear our staff to it late. We're the biggest customer to Australia Post in northern Brisbane. So they pick up last. We're positioned right on the bottom of the runway. So they will pick up. So you literally will get your order the next day if you place it at 5:30, which is
So
pretty
good.
cool.
That is fantastic because I feel as though that's hard to do in Australia.
It
But you've
is.
got to gear your processes around the customer.
Yeah.
So whenever we do a decision, we go, what will that impact? So we have now a 100-day money back guarantee. So even if you've used a product for 90 days, you don't like it, you can send it back.
Fascinating. I find that so incredible. Can you talk to us about that? And I remember we've had a conversation about this on what you do with the products afterwards. If someone has used it, I love your recycling sustainability piece. So tell us what you do with the products. If someone's used it and they refund it, what happens next?
Wow. So
Take us through that cycle.
now we have a tiny return rate. Unlike fashion, which is in the high teens, 20s.
Yeah.
In the UK, I think that's rating in fashion about 50%.
Yeah, it's
Which is-
market dependent though, isn't it?
Yeah, I
More
mean-
markets are just used to returning stuff.
But I know a very big retailer that came to us. We benchmark as well. So we've had Super Retail Group. LSKD came in last week. Big shout out to
Love
the
them.
Jason
Love you
and
guys
to
at LSKD.
Jade, Beginning Boutique, Roses Only. That we all come into each other's. You learn from each other,
Yeah.
and we're not experts in everything, but we can always absorb. Like you guys came in and saw our operation from your po.
I've got to come in. I haven't come in yet, Rob. I
The
feel
goodie
like
Very
bags.
cool.
The goodie bags.
I've got to get a
amazing.
goodie bag.
Absolutely. You'll get one today.
Okay, great.
So you can return anything. So our return rate's only about 1.8%, which is superb.
Wow.
Most of that through sizing. So, but that's why we do a lot of content on the website. It's not salesy. It's all more factual, so you can navigate the journey. But in addition, you get more so the chaps. They'll tend to over order in size. In that, that ain't gonna fit.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, like the amount of King Cock 14 inches that I get returned is like, no matter,
Yeah.
doesn't matter how much
You
lubricant.
tried. You just missed off by a couple of inches.
So that's where you give confidence back to the consumer, giving a 100-day returns policy. So if it's not used, we'll obviously put it back into stock. But if the box has been opened, if we think it's 1% being used, then no, obviously. So what we're doing now is even before the sustainability cause focus, should we say, came into play, we used to have a thing called rabbit amnesty in the UK where you just return a rabbit or return any toy. We'll give you half price for your next toy, and then we'll put it into, through the council in the UK, we'll put it into speed bumps. So
Wait, what? Speed
Yeah.
bumps?
yeah, so you recycle the plastics and the silicon, and then make the speed bumps in the road out of
cool is
used
that?
vibrators.
So
this is
cool.
going back 15
Wow.
years.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
So we're well ahead of the whole, because we're having all these products, and sometimes you're going to get some faulty products.
yeah.
What we do, so most people call us to say, where's my order? So we automate our tracking through Australia Post. That gets, so you scan an item, you box it, an email gets sent to the customer going, your order's packed with Australia Post, and then when the manifest is run, they then get a tracking number and they can lodge it live. That's what the customers want. They want information. But likewise, sometimes you'll get it's faulty, and we'll just say, cool, what's in your new one? No questions. Don't need to send it back. You can do whatever. If though they do send it back, then we are now about to launch globally the best environmentally focused, sustainable concept, not just for us, but for the whole retail community to join. Like back in the day when Julie ran Flora and Fauna, that whole kind of let's repurpose this. But the big thing as well, we get a lot of damaged product. We ship in, I don't know, 40 million worth of product every year.
Okay.
You get a lot of crushed boxing, we can't sell it. So with Seconomy, which is reuse, repurpose, recycle, they're going to basically either fix the products, which new packaging, rebox, or they're going to sell it as great product, but
Damaged box. Whatever it might
damaged
be.
box, and then put that to good use. So this Christmas, we're doing a big campaign for women's shelters, giving out hampers, not with products from us, but the money we make from reselling outside of Lovehoney, we'll put into these charity events. So rather than it being binned, or we give it to our staff, so the staff box every month, my God. Happy staff, happy life. Like literally, they'll have 2 carrier bags per
Amazing.
staff box.
Yeah.
No one must leave.
I know.
You'd be like, I just want to stay forever.
Dogs, cheap food,
No.
free sex toys,
Gym.
What more could you
all
want,
of the
Gym.
things.
dodgy pommy running the company. No filter,
Yeah.
swears every day.
Bobsy's there.
Yeah. They threw a surprise birthday party. I tried to keep my birthday under the radar. I was 50 this year. My
When was your
God.
birthday?
October 13th.
Okay.
And
Keep it. We'll put it in the diary for next year.
that's the love we have. It is a family.
Yeah.
You know, and we do. And with a family, though, comes you're going to get family arguments.
Yeah.
And Tash, you know very well, why she's pregnant, head of my marketing. She's amazing, awesome peep. She'll just walk into my office and go, Bobsy, you're a dick. Get out of my marketing department. Do not ask them to do this, this, and this. And it's that raw honesty.
Yeah.
You know? So you encourage a flat structure, you encourage feedback because that creates the community. And if you can't be happy when we're the sexual happiness people, then we're doing something wrong. I'm doing something wrong as a leader.
Yeah. It's normalizing healthy conflict as well. I think that people get really scared of saying that they don't agree with something or someone or something you've said or a decision you've made, but actually there's nothing wrong in voicing that. And so having a culture that really enables people to like deal with conflict but in a really constructive way is important. But that comes from the top. That comes top down.
A great speaker at Retail Global, a guy called Bob Schwartz, used to run Nordstrom. Big up to the marketplaces. He's a consultant to them and Afterpay and many others. He spoke about Blake Nordstrom, who multi-billionaire. He spoke about the reverse triangle. The CEO's at the bottom. He supports his exec team. The exec team support the staff support the customer. That is exactly what we do. In fact, for those viewers watching on YouTube or wherever this is published, I still have Bob Schwartz's card from Blake Nordstrom that says, extend yourself. And I'm blind.
I love that you keep it with you.
I know.
Everywhere, because this is the ethos of how we do. Be extraordinary, hard work, not much glory. There must be some beauty which ordinary men cannot see, but extraordinary men do. And that is, you stretch yourself for your peeps, for your community, for the people in your life, and they will give you reward back. So I'm here not as a boss. I'm here to support my team, who will then support their staff, who will then support our customers. And that mentality is, I reckon, our USP. Not great sex toys, great orgasms. You know, imagine how many orgasms we deliver. We all ship over 750,000 orders this year. Imagine how much joy that's delivered.
That's
I like how that just went on a tangent.
I know. So much joy.
But to get that joy, you need good systems, good processes, and good staff.
Yeah.
So our customer service team don't sell. They're just there to help the customer. And it's a massive point of difference. You get all these companies coming in trying to sell us products. So no, we don't sell. We take the customer on the journey. And that's so important.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
There you go.
No,
That's the mindset.
I'm gonna take a photo of that later on. I think it's, you know, a lot of when I hear people talk about you, Rob, Bobsy, there's so much respect, and there's so much respect from a really honest and true place. Because you know how when people talk and we'll talk about other people, and it's just like, oh they're great, but you're like, it's a little bit surface level. People have a lot of respect for you, and I feel as though that comes back to your leadership and your leadership style. So you've got to be doing something right, and that I think is something that everyone can take on board in terms of, you know, what you've just communicated about the way that you run your team, the way that you communicate, the way that you've structured your management, I think is really important. So
I think, thank you very much. I appreciate genuinely that coming from you two peeps is amazing. I feel privileged to hear that. But you are a reflection of your team, and that's why I got the big unit, I call him the Jack G, my eldest son. He works in the warehouse every Saturday because he's 16. I mean, he's like, he goes to school. He's like, I packed dildos for my dad. Big up. But it's you got to share, you got to share the rewards, share the vision, but also I think you got to be honest. And I think the thing I kind of try and transmit is I struggle, and I share this with my team. When I encourage free mental health counselling, I had a mental health counsellor yesterday. I have it every month, and I missed her for 2 months. And Tina was like, "Why did you miss us?" And I was like, "I was going through a real bad bit." She said, "Well, why the fuck didn't you fucking call me?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I know I should have done, because of the recruitment stresses, the merger stresses, the kind of ex-wife." Kids growing up, and I just took it all internal. But by being honest with your staff, your community, that's where you get respect, not from sugarcoating. We're doing a brilliant job with Lovehoney, but it's hard. It's not like recruitment's hard, shipping's hard, Google's hard, Facebook. Business today is not easy, but you need an outlet. You need to be honest and say, guys, I stood up. It was the pivotal moment in my management career was when I went through a real messy divorce, and I had a big wobble. Right, this is being brutally honest here. I went through a big wobble, and I had to take a couple of days off work, and I rarely take time off. And I was like, how? And everyone heard about it in the business. I was like, how do I cope? How do I deal with this? Everyone knows I had 3 days off and I was pretty sick. So I went, you know what? I'm just going to say it how it is. And I got the whole company together and said, look, guys, this is it. This is what happened. Going through bad divorce. I was missing my boys, and this is the reality. And I had the one of our oldest staff members who's really kind of like the Aussie Ocker, very standoffish, just does his job, comes in, goes home. He came up to us, gave a big hug, and went, thank you for sharing. I had more cut through in that one afternoon than I had done in 6 years before that.
Yeah, because you were being real.
Exactly.
You were being real.
People absolutely value that sincerity. Not only, in business, but if you're just able to show up and be yourself, because we all go through things, and being able to humanize yourself to your staff and your team, I think is super important and inspiring. Yeah.
That brings me on to one real cool point.
Okay.
I need some more wine.
Of course.
So we decided to have a little fun with this particular recording and get a bottle of Chablis.
The fun's going to continue, don't worry. You touched on the point about if you moment of disability, etc. This is one thing which we've, with the relationship with Chantel, right, and Dylan Alcott, Ledge, big shout out to the Dill. They have a joint manager called G, and she's amazing. They're all of them, and but the time we signed Chantel was the time my son broke both his knees playing football. Also, he ripped his meniscus and then they scanned him, and I was coaching him, and I'd ignored his complaints that his knees were sore for the whole season, and realised he had 3 fractures in one knee and a ripped meniscus in the other, and I'd ignored him. Good coach, good dad. So pushing him around in a wheelchair for 3 months when he had a double knee operation, realised how our life is not designed to help people with disability. I made it a purpose for Lovehoney to be an employer of disability equally as able-bodied people. So we had people, 12% of our staff before COVID identified as having a disability. We then went to the government and said, hey, we're Lovehoney, we're sexual happiness people, we want to have staff. And went to help and went, the help organisation, you've got disability clients, let's employ them.
Yeah.
Or I want to get to 25%. I want to have double the national average as a goal for the business.
Yeah.
And he went, no, you're in the sex industry. You can't employ people with disabilities because you could have, in inverted commas, sex on premise. And I went, are you shitting me? No, like verbatim. Like the CEO of Help said, sorry, we can't help you. And I'm like,
that is ridiculous.
You're discriminating against the discriminated.
Exactly.
So I was like, no, I'm sorry, I can't accept that. So what we've done is completely ignore that and doing our own thing. So we've invested our time and hopefully some money soon in producing the first disability toy called Bump'em. It's a joystick in Sydney, designed by people with disabilities, for people with disability. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two is we're going to modify our software to be able for people in wheelchairs be able to pick orders on the lower levels. That's what we can do. We're working with Dylan Alcott Foundation to we're expanding where you came to see our warehouse. We bought the warehouse next door next year. So we're going to go to 5,000 square meters of warehouse, 1,000 meters of office. And we're going to create with Get Skilled, which is Zach Alcott, Dylan's brother, the most flagship universal access warehouse in the country where people with disabilities have got exactly the same access and features as people who are able-bodied. And we're going to do that out of our own pocket to prove a point.
That deserves.
Honestly,
that deserves. Absolutely.
Honestly.
Because
it's very inspiring.
you're doing that when the government has turned around and said you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. And you're going, you know what? Fuck you.
Total fuck you.
We're going to make sure that there is change, and also it's setting a standard for everyone else.
Absolutely, it's like the recycling with Seconomy, giving damaged product. Okay, it's bad for the company image. You have a crash box. Well, it's bad to put it in the dump. It's bad to put it in a rubbish bin.
Yeah,
not having an equal proportion or more, because again, statistics show people with disabilities who work for you have a far higher attendance, far higher productivity, far much loyalty to your business. So you're not, in a way, it's going to help boost sales because what you're doing, like with Chantel, Cam, having people that resonate, they'll resonate to you as being a bloody good employer.
Yeah,
that you're not taking this knee-jerk bullshit reaction from the government going, you can't employ because you sell sex toys. All we do is put a box in another box and give it to Australia Post and they ship it.
Yeah.
But because, mate, I wish we had sex on premise. My God. Seriously? We don't have the time. We sell more sex toys than any other company in the country.
Yeah.
Globally, with the number one seller. Mate, the thought, we don't have the time to have sex. My God, could you imagine? No, they can't. That's HR's going, no.
Yeah.
But it is, you've got to change. You've got to use your platform, like with mental health TX, like with disability, for good.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that goes back to your point about there is a lot of respect for Lovehoney. It's because we do stand up. We do challenge the bullshit out there.
Yeah.
And we try and make it a purpose.
Yeah. And you're directly head on challenging and taking on very hard areas. Like you've got disability and inclusion, incredibly hard. And what you're doing is probably not a short fix either.
No.
Like you've said, there's a strategy over time. You've got sustainability, circular economy. Again, you've got a lot of waste that's going out there. You recognize that. You're putting the strategy in place to be able to tackle that head on and provide a way forward for not just yourselves, other communities. And you're tackling mental health head on. And I also think that, even when you were saying how you stood up and you were really honest and clear about the way that you were feeling, can I just say as a man, that is, I utterly respect that because I think more men need to do that. More men need to talk about their mental health. More men need to stand up and actually say what is on their mind and the way that they're feeling. And it's not that whole very simple premise isn't actually spoken about enough. So well done. I'm
Thank
like,
you.
it's so impressive
It is.
to start off in a conversation where we think we're going to be talking about just your business, and we have,
Yeah.
but we've actually gone down a much more important road, which is value, purpose, mission as a company. And I think in this day and age, a lot of companies are lacking that.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. People, you look at the Gen Z, the statistics, hard to say with a lisp, the statistics around why people resonate to your company. Brand affinity is reducing. It's about purpose. It's about how you can connect with a company. And like the majority of people my age and younger, the biggest cause of death for men is suicide.
Yeah.
So we have to address that. And when you have a brilliant Australian of the Year, and I'm so honoured to call Dylan Alcott a mate. I've been to his house, hung out with him. For him to be Australian of the Year, we have to use that opportunity to make change. And yeah, that's not going to deliver direct sales. But what it's going to do is I want to buy from Lovehoney because they actually back up their shit. They're actually cool. Now we got onto the 5,000 products we sell and the fun you can have. But that's, again, it's the holistic approach. It's not just what's your conversion, what's your LTV on a customer, etc. It's about everything. It's about connecting all the dots and being a company that people resonate to, not because they have to. You know?
It's actually building sustainable loyalty.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're building a true brand where people will buy from you because of your brand, because of what you stand for, and will be very, very loyal to that. So, but it's taken 20 years. And it's funny how you go a full 360, but when you were first talking about where the founders were, why they started the company, the way that they started the company, it feels as though that purpose was ingrained right from the word go.
And it still is. Those 6 core values are still there today. They haven't changed because they were the foundations of what we do. Why we have people starting late in the warehouse. We have 7 days a week operation. We start at 7 a.m. and finish at 10 p.m. in the warehouse. We have 24/7 customer service.
Wow.
If you send an email or a live chat or a phone call, we will, in 90% of the time, outside of some key cyber, blah, 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 we will respond and fix and resolve an issue within an hour.
Wow.
That's
An hour.
Yeah.
An hour. Now, we brought, pre-COVID, we brought it down to 40 minutes.
Wow.
Sometimes it goes to a couple of hours in our peak period. But to say when I get so frustrated, I'm the worst online buyer now because of the standard we set.
Yeah.
For someone to go in, most time going, where's my order? Or it's faulty. Turn and go, you know what? Sorry, we'll send you a new one. It's gone out already. And they go, sorry? And because you are turning a negative into a positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is amazing where people go, really? Yeah, we're really sorry. Sorry you didn't get the order. It's lost in Australia Post, or it's lost with USPS in America, or it's
Wherever it
with
might be,
around the world. 'Cause we do, our customer service is between us, America, our Atlanta office, and the UK office. So you literally have got true 24/7. So the horny hours, we call them, from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. So the horny hours in the UK are our morning.
Yeah.
So the UK customers deal with the Australian call centre. And they go, where are you guys from? And they go, Brizzy. And they're like, what?
Cool.
And then, you know, and that's how our whole business is geared to the customer. It's amazing that our competitors still have 8 till 4 Monday to Friday. I'm sorry, if you're horny after 4 p.m.
Can't help you.
Can't help you.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. You gotta come. You can only be horny
Yeah.
in the working hours of the week.
It's funny when you put it like that because that makes so much sense. But most people would just think, oh, yeah, 8 till 4.
Yeah. Well,
It's
it's
not.
not truly understanding your customer, which clearly you guys do amazingly. You understand what they need and you're continuing to build that trust and loyalty by having all those touch points, which is exactly what a customer wants. It's just that communication and those touch points, which is amazing. And I think, like you said before, you understand that you have this platform to be able to do all of these things where you're able to reach your customers, but even outwardly with all the charities and everything that you're doing. Just, again, just huge credit to you. We love what you're doing. And, even being able to speak up for minority groups, such as, everything you're doing around the disability processes is truly amazing. So, yeah.
It's not easy though. Like, it is, as you said, it's a multi-year approach.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you the conversion. It doesn't give you your cost per click. It doesn't give you, but you get the reward further down the road.
So, just on that, before we kind of go on to the next question and go on to the product showcase, for businesses, because this has come up a lot. Carmel and I really talk quite passionately about sustainability, about a lot of different, I think, worldly topics, right? But a question that comes back is, okay, how do I convince my CEO, who's very metric focused, who wants to put a number to this particular initiative that will cost money, just naturally? How do we tackle that? And I know that's a very, very hard question to answer. And personally, I don't own a business, so I'm like, oh, God, I don't know what to say. But what is your advice for people that might be listening who are in that position where they are very passionate about being purpose-led, being purpose-driven, whether they're a CEO, whether they're an employee in a company, but there are metrics that they have to look at? Where do you start?
That's a brilliant question. From a company that started with 2 founders, who ironically I'm having dinner with tonight in Sydney.
Oh, no.
Neil, big shout out to Neil.
Hey, Neil.
And
We love you, Neil.
Oh, mate, we do love him. He's flying to Sydney today.
That's why you're having a bougie dinner tonight.
We're at Aria.
Okay.
Nice.
And Neil's paying for it. I can tell
That's
you.
even better. That's even better.
So having 2 founders where I quote you literally, they said, okay, Rob, you proved the point. We've turned the website on. It's huge. We're shipping orders. We're losing a lot of orders because we're shipping it from the UK. We're saying it's 3 to 7 days. Our USP, which our competitors have, is the speed of shipping. So therefore, if we open up a warehouse, we can eliminate that. They said, how much to open up a warehouse? And I went, here's a spreadsheet, back of fag packet, 2.1 mil. In 4 days, I had 2.1 mil in my bank. Go for it.
Wow.
Right? Now, fast forward 8 years, 1 merger, 1 venture capital company coming in. That's never going to happen. Never going to happen.
Yeah.
Big shout out there to Johannes in Berlin, our CEO. He's a great guy. It is hard where there's such a short-term focus on return. There's such a short-term focus on conversion, on average order value. But you've got to look at the lifetime value. And you've got to keep looking at that. You've got all this new cohort coming in from bricks and mortar over COVID, and now they're used to it. There's been a dip recently on a national level, but you've got all these people. They reckon, from most stats from Ray Morgan and others, the e-commerce has been brought forward 6 to 10 years. Fantastic.
I'd agree with that.
You've got to utilize that. And Shopify, mate, I wish we were on that.
We'll talk later.
Oh my God. Anyway, we won't go down that avenue. But how do you convince? Well, I have 3 boards to report to. I have the Lovehoney Australia board, which I remember. We have our Lovehoney board and we have our investor board. How do you persuade someone that's not going to get an immediate ROI? And what you do is you own it. You basically own it with statistics and with how the movement goes. Sustainability is really hard because 90% of what we make is plastic or silicon. How the hell do you recycle those 2? But you can't not do anything. So what do? We launch new products like the Premium Eco Womanizer, biodegradable plastics, recycled electronics, cornstarch bags, Love Not War range, which is sold in David Jones. David Jones had the biggest sell-through ever last week when they launched their catalogue. We had our calendars, Lovehoney calendars in there, sold out one day.
What?
So that's how this is how the industry has changed. David Jones selling Lovehoney calendars and recycled, not recycled toys, but recycled materials in their products. Love Not War, Womanizer, Premium Eco, etc.
Yes.
You know, we have vegan lubricants, etc.
Yeah.
So making an impact like with sustainability in addressing the needs in the product level is one. But also you just got to back yourself and go, you know what, I'm going to own this. Like with Bump'em, it was with the joystick, there's a 1 billion potential marketplace out there. This is good business. You make a product for the disability marketplace, by the disability market, it's going to have a future return. So even if we get 1% of the disability market buying an order, that'll be millions. What we've committed doing is giving every dollar back to the manufacturer to increase their product investment. And that's a cool thing. So how do you persuade your top brass in committing to that? It's about the long-term returns and having the confidence, the statistics, and also the belief. And also there's an element which probably shouldn't be communicated, is just fuck it, do it.
Yeah.
Beg for forgiveness
Ask for
later.
forgiveness,
Yeah.
That's my
Literally.
motto in life.
Charlie, you met Charlie, our e-commerce manager. Big up to the Charlie. He's inherited. Now I'm getting a little bit older. I'm Mr. Lovehoney. He's a young dilf.
Okay.
30, and he's dating Red Bull models, and he's giving it the old on Tinder. Yeah, I'm head of Lovehoney.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lovehoney. Okay.
I've let him run with that. I'm not going to shortcut his Tinder profile, but giving he's great that way. He's a great analyst, and putting a new functionality. And we'll email out to company, we're going to do this. Any feedback? If you're not here, we're just going to do it. So you give people the opportunity to contribute, but you just do it, you own it. And if it fucks up, it fucks up. You own it and go, okay, I learned it wasn't right, but we learned X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But equally, you deliver good message in equal proportions as well as bad. So if it does work, go, hey, it worked. Here's the learnings for your territory, your departments, your whatever, and share the positivity around change, etc.
Test, learn, fail.
Exactly. And there are things that you can do at a lower investment as well, just to test things out and see how it goes.
Without doubt.
Okay, I think that we really want to get to the fun part.
Yes. Let's go to the next segment, which is a fast rapid fire that can go into conversation.
Yeah.
Just high level questions.
Yeah.
Go on.
We have a couple of fun questions.
We have a couple of fun questions. Then we're going to do the product demo that I think I can talk for Carmel and myself that we're slightly nervous about, but let's just
More excited.
More
than
excited.
anything.
Excited.
Nervous because we know Bobsy's going to make us feel nervous.
Yeah.
We love that.
Okay, but rapid fire question first.
Yeah.
You've got them, so you go. But my first rapid fire question, because I feel as though this could be an interesting one, is what is your craziest story? Or what is your most interesting story? Because you got a history. You got a history. Hey, we keep it somewhat PG. Somewhat PG, because I feel like there could be. But what is the most interesting / craziest story that you have?
Oh, PG.
Yeah, you
Could be M.
like not too wild.
Just not
but
R.
like, yeah.
I'd have to two stories.
Okay.
Belladonna, famous porn star, was one of the hardest porn stars in the world. She came live with me for a month. She's amazing. She's Michelle, her real name, with her daughter. We did a photo shoot for Penthouse, and I got her on the front cover of Penthouse in Australia. This is back in the day. And she knew my ex-wife really well, and she was basically covering herself all in baby oil and cream to get the shine. And we're in some posh hotel in Melbourne. And she came up to me, put her hands behind her head and went, Bobsy, is it all rubbed in? And she knew I was totally faithful to the ex-wife. And I was like, no, there's a little bit under your right boob. That's what I want to do. She went, do me a favour. I don't want to get my hands sticky. I'm like rubbing it in,
Closing
going,
your eyes.
think Arsenal Football Club. Think Arsenal Football Club.
Goodness.
that was quite crazy, man.
That's so
That's
funny.
pretty crazy.
And then I went to Hugh Hefner's party in Vegas in his Palm Resort, wherever his resort is, in the penthouse with the Playboy Affinity pool with the bunnies in the pool. And there's a massive picture of him over the bed. And I was representing his company in adult films at the time. And I was like, the 5 levels of security to get in. And I got in there. Jenna Jameson was there. Tito Ortiz was there. A whole bunch of me. And I'm just walking around there going, holy shit. I'm at Hugh Hefner's apartment.
What is going on?
So there's this massive queue for the toilet. I was like, so I was like, I have to go to the toilet. And just to be able to say I went to Hugh Hefner's toilet, and actually there's a massive queue. And I was like, you know what? Decided to have a dump in his toilet. So there you go. That's 2. That's PG
eventful.
rated.
Nice. That was perfect.
Oh, I love it. Gosh, we could get into your history.
I know.
So easily.
No,
But
mate.
anyway, okay. next one.
What is your favorite Lovehoney product?
Oh, that's a really good question.
I mean, you've got thousands to choose from.
I know.
So
5,000.
5,000 to choose from.
5,000.
Okay, there you go.
Do you know what? I've got it here.
Ooh,
This is actually your favorite product.
It is.
really?
Oh my goodness.
Let's
Okay.
This is a goat, but it's a different goat. So part of our expansion, why we've become so good and so big, is our collaboration. So 50 Shades Grey was our massive accelerator.
Okay.
We just launched a range last year with the Agent Provocateur. Beautiful leather-bound casing, decadent sex toys, just amazing. But we did launch with Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, is that like a marble?
Yeah.
Oh,
so this is the
beautiful.
actual. This is called Premium. This is the goat, right? So this is the one you got. It's
Yeah.
called the Pro 40. That's the basic tuned version of this. This has got what's called an edging button, right?
my
So you can build up the oscillations and the vibrations to a certain point, and then press this button. What it do is build you up, and when you get close,
Oh, no way.
it then bring it back down a little bit more, and then bring it back up,
Oh my.
and then down a little bit more, and then build. So it's called edging. So it's where you're almost orgasming,
Yeah.
and then reduce slightly, then build up more, then just slightly less, and then to the point where
It's getting hot in here or what?
there you go. And we took 1.5 years to do the rights with Marilyn Monroe Estate. So this is basically one of our top technical products with the new edging functionality. But this is free to one of your listeners. Oh yeah!
Yes!
So there you go.
Are we allowed to open
First,
this up?
yes, you can.
Is this like kind of aligned with, because I know that the new Marilyn series has just come out.
Yeah.
Was that planned?
Pure coincidence.
Coincidence.
Oh, it's
God,
so
that's actually
beautiful.
lucky.
And it's-
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Now she's putting her hands all over it, so she has to take it home.
Okay.
You know what
So
she's
tell you
doing.
what,
This
I'll
is
tell you what, you
like
take-
this is actually stunning. Can I just
It is
say, like,
beautiful.
I don't know whether anyone can see that properly. That is beautiful.
It is.
Can I have a feel?
It's beautiful in the feel, the
Very
texture,
nice.
the aesthetics, but also
Just-
it does the bloody job. It will get you off absolutely
But-
in the edging, and it's charged, by the way.
Yeah,
Even the
having a
packaging,
little feel.
even the packaging is like
So you put
stunning.
that- put
It's
that to
really
the,
nice.
Come
Okay then. That really gets
Hannah,
better.
I'll tell you what we'll do, right? Is
Okay.
you can take that home. Next podcast, you come back, you give a
Review.
customer review, and we'll send. We'll
Okay,
send,
okay.
That's what
We'll
you get.
send a brand new one to a listener.
All right. I'm
Done.
like, I think that sounds like a great
Yeah.
little catch.
You're
So
gonna-
make sure everyone you're listening.
You're gonna
to
give a
this
review?
episode.
For the boys that
Yeah.
do the podcast, big shout out to the boys.
Yes,
Ed and
Blake in the
Blake.
back. He's like, yeah,
Loving it.
That's
They'll
great.
put it out on socials, and we'll send out one from Lovehoney to the best. What do you want to do? What competition should I say? let's correct a negative, right? What's your worst sexual experience? And the worst story, we'll send out one of those.
Oh my
I
God.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
All right, done.
And
Worst experience.
but you got to subscribe and follow
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
podcast
Yeah.
to be a recipient.
Okay.
And Blake and Ed, you're not allowed to enter. Sorry.
Yes.
There you go. That's our best
I'm
product.
so impressed. Wow.
It's beautiful.
That
That's
is
really
beautiful.
nice. Yeah.
I wish that everyone just had the opportunity to actually feel like
Yeah.
you should go and get with this. The
Yeah.
feel is like
That's a great
amazing.
gift. I've
That is a great gift.
I've been gifting the Womanizer to my friends. So this one,
It's
I didn't know
everyone
about this
does
one. This one's a nice one.
Do you have a Yopo discount code?
I don't, but I'll get one off you after this. Yeah.
There you
we
go.
need to spread sexual wellness.
Spread the
Yes.
sexual happiness.
Well-
Okay, next.
So this
short
is
fire
this
question.
is this is your favorite product.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that.
I agree with that.
What is the last item you purchased online?
Oh.
This is going to be really boring now. This.
Don't tell me it's a barbecue.
I'm a diabetic. So I've got called a Fiber Libre, which is a sensor where I put my phone to my it's a little disc inserted into my arm. Not cheap. It's like $92 a fortnight.
Okay.
And it reads my blood sugar
Oh,
from my phone.
That's so
remotely.
cool.
Great
But-
technology.
That is a fantastic technology, and to think about how far that's come probably in a couple of years is pretty unbelievable, because I know that there's been a lot of innovation in that space, but I've never heard of this.
Yeah, so I can doing it live. I do a lot of marathon running and
Yeah.
boxing, and in the boxing, so I put my
God, you
little
put me to shame.
do that, and did a double marathon, 63k in
Impressive.
June, and there you go. And now it's gives you a reading of
That was
Nice.
instant.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So that's what I bought last online.
Nice.
Right. Okay. Look, that's not that boring.
No, not at all.
I actually think that's really
That's
interesting.
cool tech.
Yeah,
That is really cool
exactly.
tech. Really cool tech.
All right. Favorite holiday destination?
You've been a lot of places in the world, so this is going to be a good one.
Favorite place would be, I would say Turkey. I lived there for 2 years teaching windsurfing and sailing, and it's a mixture of the culture, of the people, their passion, their love, and just a beautiful landscape. Just a great way of life. It's awesome.
Nice.
Turkey.
Any
one.
specific places in Turkey that you'd
I
recommend?
lived near
Asking for a
Bodrum.
friend.
No, I lived
Okay.
a friend,
Friend.
a friend that will help
Maybe
you
I might
with
want-
Marilyn.
Yeah.
So Lovehoney Bobsy
Solo
says.
trip. All I
Yeah.
need is my Marilyn with me. We're good.
I lived in a little near the border, or near Greece. In fact, true story. We used to get, back in the day, sailing over in Turkey, we used to get really drunk and do stupid things like go out windsurf at night.
That doesn't surprise me.
I know,
Yeah.
under the moonlight. One day we woke up and went, let's go windsurf to Greece. Now, we literally, because there's about 20k distance between the mainland of Turkey and some of the Greek islands, we actually windsurfed to Greece,
Wow.
had lunch, and windsurfed back again. Now, A, that's
What a day.
we would have been locked up in jail. B, if anything had happened,
It's illegal.
yeah, because we didn't have any passports, so we didn't
you
go through the normal checkbook.
Yeah.
And the conflict between Greece and Turkey is
Yeah.
pretty stark. And we just literally windsurfed there for the day and then surfed back. Like if a sail had broken, if the board had broken, we would have been like dead.
Oh god.
It's 4 of us.
You got lucky.
But you kind of
But
look
it's
back.
a good story. It's a
you look
great
back,
story.
Yeah.
That's why Turkey is it was a place where I windsurfed hard, I drank hard, I partied hard, and fun memories.
So that's why it's your recommended destination.
That makes sense.
I have a lot of fun memories.
Yeah. Last question is a talent or a skill that you have that not many people know about.
I feel like that could be anything at this point.
PG.
Yeah, PG.
Does it have to be?
You can be whatever, off limits.
Yeah.
We talk about anything.
Anything, yeah.
I'm blushing now.
I can see where this is going already.
I know. Oh God.
I'm an Englishman, what can I say? Yeah. Gifted. I'm actually a really good boxer. What I lack for in ability to make up for an aggression is a great. I actually broke my wrist recently.
Because
In a
when
shower.
boxing.
No, in a shower.
Okay.
We won't go any further than that. But,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So I actually haven't boxed for 3 months, but I actually have only lost one professional fight in my life.
So you box professionally?
9 pro-am fights. I fought for the bronze medal at the Pan Pacific Games.
Oh, wow.
And the winner, with the guy, my only loss ever, went on to win the gold medal. And Dennis Hogan, who won the welterweight championship of the world recently, I sparred with him a week before I broke my wrist. He's a good mate. Jeff Horn's really good mate. We've known him for 10 years. Big Joe Goodnall, whole host Liam Wilson. I love my boxing, and don't mess.
And you're also a very good sailor.
Yeah.
So you love sailing, windsurfing.
And my boys, my big Jack G, the unit who works for Lovehoney.
Yeah.
He's won the Brisbane Division 2 Rugby League the last 2 years, and now they're playing Division 1 next year, which is a feeder grouping into the NRL. And my little son Levi, he's a little entrepreneur. He wants to take over Lovehoney at 12. He's the number 1 goalie for Queensland in hockey. So a bit of a sporting family.
Yeah.
Rob, is there anything you can't do? At this point, I'm questioning. I don't know, because my goodness.
What I can't do, keep a relationship. I work too hard, too many hours, literally. What can't I do? I haven't got much patience.
Okay.
Like, the thing I love, and it sounds really crass, is having a platinum card at the airlines, so I don't have to actually queue. I can go straight onto a plane.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds such a wanky thing.
No,
No,
but it's
no,
true.
we get it.
Oh.
Yeah,
We get it.
We get it.
Like,
I'm
seriously?
like, I've got a routine when I get onto a plane, and it is like quick.
Yeah.
If I'm blinding, I get antsy.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? I've read a lot of books around leaders and people who have been successful, and that is the number one thing that I think, just this isn't facts or anything, that comes up is lack of patience. So, this probably contributes to your success.
But I think also I'm doing a lot of self-learning. The thing I regret most is when I became own my own company, the Love Group, which started Lovehoney, and we represent loads of brands. I thought then when I became CEO at 33, I've done it. I'm at the top. I don't have to do anything more. And I should have realised then that that's only the start. You've got to start learning. You've got to keep improving. So now I've realised that you've got to keep self-learning. So like Stephen Bartlett's The Diary of a CEO.
I love that podcast.
Brilliant.
Is that
Every
not the
week,
best?
verbatim. Like when you
He's
hear
the
about
best.
like the coach for Kobe Bryant and MJ, where there's a light side and dark side. Light side, your talent, your ability, your drive. The dark side, what are you willing to give up? Are you willing to give up personal relationships? Are you willing to get up at 4 a.m. to go and train? And that's me. And I say what I'm bad at is putting me first. My sons come first. My Lovehoney family come first. I come 73rd. And I have to reprioritize. That's why I'm booking into my calendar, going to the gym, going for a run, boxing, getting punched, punching someone. Literally, like
Putting you first,
Breaking
punching
wrist
someone
in the shower.
breaking that wrist in the shower.
I think a great actually learning point for other leaders is you gotta. It's not being selfish, but I feel close to burnout many times this year because I've done the 12 a.m. 1 a.m. finish to get up at 6 a.m. to go have a meeting because I need to facilitate others. But you realise you've only got so many hours you can contribute. So being a bit more, what I'm bad at is probably saying no. I would say it's probably a good thing. The summation is saying no. Sometimes you just gotta say no, and I find it very hard.
That is a learning for us all. That is a learning for us all.
Especially when you're passionate about the business, it's very easy to just take everything on. Yep.
Yeah.
My psychologist says it's like you're in a toxic relationship because it is that kind of, you just do, it will get better. It will come good.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I've got to reprioritize the things. But look, I'm I'm the luckiest man on earth to run a great company with some awesome people. And having 2 sons that share that journey with me. And
Very cool.
my little one's going to stab me in the back, take over the CEO role, and thank me for it.
But we love that.
Yeah.
Well, you really should be very proud of yourself because I think you've done a wonderful job.
Yep.
It's lovely to be about. Before I go,
Yes. Okay. Product showcase.
Yeah.
Is this the second product? Okay. All right. Yes. Let's do
part.
this. Okay, we've got part 1 done. The organizer.
that's for your listeners. This is for only for your subscribers because it's so important, as the boys will say, to subscribe to this podcast because it helps you your rankings and your SEO and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the big hit of this year has been Lovehoney calendars. Right?
Yes.
We bought in 5,500 calendars, right? And the number one was the couples. It sold out.
Okay.
Right? They were $270. You can do the math.
Okay.
Right? We sold out on Monday before Click Frenzy. But we have lingerie calendars and we have a male calendar. But we also have a romance calendar. And I thought, how good would it be to have one of the last ones in the country?
Oh my God, stop it!
How exciting.
This is so exciting.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, can we just make sure we rewind to like the part where I said before, I want a calendar?
Exactly.
You read our mind.
I've been seeing
read
them
your body
everywhere. You've
language.
got some really good
Yes.
influencers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christian Hull.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you're going to actually go through the 12 days
Oh
of happiness
my
before Christmas.
Oh my goodness.
Christmas comes early.
Okay.
I had to say
This is
apologies.
so
I crashed
exciting.
it. So no.
one-
No.
Oh, no.
Open the
Okay.
front flap.
Wait,
Open
what?
the
The front
front
flap?
Turn around.
Oh, I see. This way?
Yeah. Magnets up.
Oh God.
There you go.
Oh.
There I am, just trying to like,
Show
Oh.
wherever the camera is.
where
Look at
are
that.
our cameras? Look at this. This is so much
So
fun.
cool.
And so this is the romance calendar.
This is
for
12 days.
couples.
We sold out of the 24-day Aventana. What
Okay.
do you do on Christmas Eve? Christmas comes early. You
Yeah.
know, so this is a 12-day calendar.
This is
So
awesome.
you
Can
can
we-
do. Yeah, we
Yeah,
can do
open
it.
all
Day
of it?
one.
Okay, let's go.
So this is
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
A little bullet?
A little
Is that-
bullet.
yeah, a
little bullet, yeah.
We love a bullet.
yeah, hold down it and it will kick in after a few seconds.
Okay.
And the bullet will then interact with other things within the box.
Within the. Oh,
So
Oh,
if you
okay. Go
pass the
to.
bullet,
You got the bullet?
look at that kicking off for you.
Oh, sorry.
It's beautiful little gold and like.
So the girls are unveiling, and now you got to try it on each other. So I think Carmel hasn't got any glasses.
So this-
There we go.
So this is
Oh,
But you're taking us on a
beautiful
journey.
quality.
You're taking us on a journey. Oh,
Love it.
I
Delivering
know.
proof of
Does it look
delivery.
good?
Oh, this is exciting. Okay. So that's number 2. And I hope everyone
it
can
off.
see, like the feel of this is actually beautiful. It's
It
got
is
some padding
lovely.
behind it.
Yeah.
And it's like very luxe.
Getting stuck on
Very
my,
luxe. Okay, number 3. Again, we're adding to the journey here. Vanilla massage oil.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
I think I
you
have that.
are getting
Yeah.
pampered. Okay, we've got to do a smell.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Is
beautiful.
this the 50 Shades of Grey one?
It's the same
yeah, 'cause
ingredients.
I
as
have
Fish
that
Chase,
one. Yeah.
So
Let's
we
have
use
a
it
little
in
look.
different product groups.
Oh no, it's gotta
You gotta undo it.
undo it.
Oh, there it is.
There's the sound. I don't know. I can't do this. You open that while I open the next one.
Okay.
All right,
Number
number
4.
4.
What have we got number 4? There you go. Right.
Oh,
So number 4 is a masturbating sleeve for the gentleman, or
A
those who not
masturbating
gentlemen,
sleeve.
those who have a penis.
Oh, there you go.
So,
So it's nice and
It stretch
Cushiony.
around the penis and you put a
Nice.
lubricant.
Yeah.
And Bob's your
there you
uncle.
go. That's cool. I've never seen that before. There you go.
That's something that's new
So
to
you
me.
get,
but, you know,
yeah,
this might be a
There you
male
go. You
thing.
get lucky this weekend, Carmel, with
I will gift
your
it
dinner
to
dates.
someone.
We're just going to make somebody really happy by gifting all this stuff.
No.
Okay.
All right, what are we on
Number
now?
5.
5.
This is so fun.
It's
I
too
love
fun.
calendars.
Ooh, another
Ooh.
silky number.
Oh, again, we are being taken on
we're
the
being
journey.
tied
This is
up.
like,
There you go, little bows.
this is
Oh,
this
so
is a
cute.
Friday, Saturday night. Just
Love
settling
that.
in.
That will obviously matches perfectly with
There you
this.
go.
Beautiful. I love the color.
you get the risque bondage,
Bondage,
Oh,
yeah.
but also the
We
silk.
also have
Oh, here we go.
we have the essence. We've opened it. It's taken me some time.
Yeah,
I can see you're wearing. Are you wearing Bang & Body?
I am.
Yeah. I knew.
Banging bondage.
Oh,
Wearing
we're
the
actually
cream.
obsessed. We have
Yeah.
issues. Oh, I see why this is. It's like you can see when it's got a glow. Somebody's got a glow. It's the
yeah.
Bang & Body illuminating body moisturizer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Rob, you
I
need
learn,
to.
I learn something new every day.
No.
All right,
I've-
number 6. Oh, a candle. Setting the scene.
Yeah.
Love that.
Again,
Sandalwood.
So next year, Tash is doing an event which you two are going to come to.
Yeah.
It's called a sensory room, and we're going to target all of your senses in this experience in Sydney. So customers can
Nice.
come along to it. We're going to do a big press event
Surely
about enlightening all of your senses.
Nice.
Taste, smell,
I love that.
touch.
It's so important.
That's
It's
actually
so
another
important,
thing
right?
that I love about what you guys do. You do so many cool collaborations
Yeah.
and activations. It's so good.
Oh my goodness, this oil. I finally got it open.
So nice.
I've got.
Yeah.
I'm like not
Love
great
it.
with getting things open, but we got there. That is so. It's actually subtle, but I think that in this instance, the subtler the better. But it smells so good.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Now we're
guy.
getting fun.
There you go.
Now we're getting fun.
So this is the,
Constriction
So we've
ring.
set the
Is that what
scene.
it's called? Yeah.
so this is the rabbit.
Oh.
Is so when you get your bullet, you put the bullet in the rabbit, and then you can use that just free solo. You go solo, girl. You know, a bit of the old rabbit ears around the clitoris, etc. Or if you're with a male partner with a penis, you
Yeah.
can pop that around the penis, and then if it's again on top, it will tickle clitoris, doggy style, blah, blah,
Wow.
multiverse.
Multi-
Oh.
There you go. So
That's so
they
cool.
all, so you can have the candle going, you can have the massage, you got the rabbit ear, cock
Blindfold,
ring,
yeah.
etc.
That is fun.
That's so cool.
12 days of happiness.
This is 12 days of happiness, but this is like seriously setting
This
the
is
scene.
more than
big and
12
it's
days of
building
happiness.
up.
It's building up.
Yeah, this is
you
a
can
lifetime.
see that. You can see the journey, the
Yeah.
Saturday night journey.
Okay,
So what are we up to?
Okay,
Are we up to 8?
to 8. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Oh, so cute.
he's so cute. What is that? What is this?
Hold on. Is that for? Do you want us to guess or like? No, I can't. I thought it's for a man, but is it?
It can be
Maybe like for
multifunctional.
the guy, like a little accessory. I don't know. Oh no, it's like a sensory thing. Oh,
She went to accessory.
you went to the nth degree.
Yeah, yeah,
you went
yeah,
dirty.
yeah, yeah.
You were like, is this like a little furry butt plug or something?
Okay, I get it now.
I
I get it.
can't.
So it's just a bit of a like,
A bit of a.
yeah.
Again, we've just we've detoured from the rabbit. We're now getting the sensory
Yeah.
again. Okay. Oh.
This again, adding a bit more sensory experience. Some lovely rose petals.
Oh,
Get the romance back.
Cute.
So
So you can
nice.
scatter them
Okay,
before
that's cute.
That's really
before you get
sweet.
your anal feather bunny thing.
Oh!
Try and create some romance in the room.
Poor kid.
We're up to what
Have I
number?
missed? Okay, we're up to 10.
10.
10. Oh, 3 days till Christmas.
How am I going to get this out?
Is that chocolate?
Oh, okay.
No.
Sexy snap position cards.
Oh, love
Challenge your
that.
lover to a game of snap with a tantalizing twist. Whether you're a boudoir acrobat or looking for an exciting alternative to missionary, this pack is the perfect way to add new positions to your repertoire. Team with the toys and accessories in your kit to ignite a sexy spark. This is given all the
very
all the
cool.
ideas.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. Wow. Sometimes you
Okay.
need that, just.
Yep.
Need some inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
inspo.
read some of these out just
No,
because,
you're not?
like, just in case.
You can say those for the weekend.
Yeah.
All right, number 11.
Legs 11. Oh, is this another piece to
Oh,
add?
this is what
Do
you
we
can
add
trial
it?
now. Yep, you can trial it now if you like.
Oh.
It's put in the vibrator.
bullet.
In
Bullet
there, and it's
goes
a finger vibe. And then you put your finger, that's it. And then you put your finger
Stop
in
it.
there. And then,
Oh, that is amazing.
so what we did at the Australian Fashion Week was we got Carla Spectic with all her models to wear finger vibes. When you say we do cool collaborations, that got trended around the world.
Really?
So Afterpay sponsored it, and they had the disability with Jam Clothing
Yeah.
and all those guys with Lisa Cox and Dinesh Palapani, one of my good mates, all
Yeah.
disability focused. The other thing that got covered most was Carla and her models wearing finger vibes from 50 Shades of Grey. And from
How
Lovehoney.
cool. Were they
That
just
is
wearing
very
it like
cool.
that? Just walking down?
Literally walking down the catwalk.
Yeah.
But yeah, you turn it on now, you can forecast the pleasure, etc. You just got to you turn it on the top. And then,
Oh, the top.
Yeah. So yeah, this multifunctional, so you can then use a bullet in other areas.
That is very cool.
This is a strong bullet.
I know this. that bullet's no damage. Oh,
Okay, and finale.
the finale.
Da, da,
Look, our
Oh.
The Wevo.
Oh
Our
my
number one.
goodness.
That's
Yes.
Number one seller.
Number one seller
Really?
in the couples
Is it?
toys. Yeah,
In the
the
couples
Wevo.
toys.
Interesting.
So
So why is this number one seller?
Because you can have that as that can, and that you can put it, if you're a vulva owner, you can put that into the vulva. That lies along the top of the clitoris, and you can still have penetrative sex. So if you're in a heterosexual relationship, you can have vibration for the chap with his penis, the vibration on the clitoris, or if you solo play, you can have it on your clitoris, in your vagina, in your anus, wherever you want. Again, for the blokes, you can wrap it around your penis.
Oh, okay. So it's
Otherwise,
multi-use.
Exactly. But what my question is, who's going to get this between you two?
Well,
we're gonna
Hannah's in a relationship. so take it.
Don't look too disgusted, mate.
No, we'll share. We'll share.
We'll
We
share.
always share.
I don't know how I feel about sharing.
You don't need to share.
Okay, what I meant by sharing was splitting.
I'll have it one week. You have it the next week.
We encourage hygiene in every.
We sell toy cleaner. You don't need to share because I bought you one as well. So you get your own revive.
He's just full of.
He knew.
It's just amazing.
knew.
Honestly,
He
you
knew
set us
that
up
I
with
was
that
gonna
question. Set us
I
up.
was gonna make some type of blunder and then be like,
Oh,
What a good way to finale.
Yeah, exactly.
That is fantastic. Can I just say I've enjoyed
This has
this
been
conversation so much.
so
just because it's
good.
been really
Yeah.
interesting, right? We've taken twists and turns, and I personally had no idea about how purpose-driven Lovehoney was. And that for me has been the biggest part of this conversation. And also, of course, discovering all of these amazing grottos. But yeah, it's been awesome. I think you're awesome. I know that I can speak for pretty much everyone that knows you, Rob. You're a bloody fantastic human. So keep doing what you're doing, and just thank you.
I was absolutely privileged to be here talking to you both, for Lovehoney to be here, but just to, I suppose, get the message across, having a good sex life, having just good orgasms is a human right. So embrace it.
100%.
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
Yeah,
Cheers
but
to
are
that.
all
thank you.
for that.
I do really appreciate your time. This is such a cool podcast, and I know this is going to go from strength to strength. So write your review for the worst sex experience of your life, and you're going to get
Yes.
the best
Yes.
edging Marilyn Monroe womanizer in the freaking world.
Very, very.
And I tell you what, you two ladies are going to have one hell of a weekend this weekend.
Yes, we will. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love Lovehoney, love everything that you're doing, and we just can't wait to see you take over the world. So thank you very
Awesome.
much.
Thank you. We've got to do the rap music. Yes. See, this is when we've got a couple of wines deep now.
Yeah,
We're
I'm still
dancing.
on the waters, but
Quality.
too good.
It was so
How
good, Rob.